Hello everybody, welcome back to the Wilds. This is a game that I actually previewed quite some time ago. Put a link up if I can find it. Yeah, it's a very interesting take on a survival game. Basically you play as an animal. And I've deliberately deleted my save game that I used to just test for changes and things in order to show you essentially the options when you start a game. I could have just made a new save game, but chose not to. So there are quite a few settings that I was complaining about last time. I'm just going to go straight to the one that was my biggest irk, which was the inability to invert the y-axis. I, for some strange reason, always invert the y-axis on games. I don't really know why. I think it comes from flying aircraft games, flight simulators and things. It just works better for me that way. So now you can invert it, as you can see, and there are quite a lot more controls that you can change. You can switch blood and gore off, for instance, breeding restrictions. Not going to do any of that. I've left a little bit of music playing. Game music, because it's a peaceful game. It's not like the usual kind of game that I would play where there's lots going on and lots of shooting and that kind of thing. And as you can see, I'm playing in 4K mode. My graphics settings are pretty much maxed out. I use windowed mode because obviously I have recording software going. But other than that, yeah, you can see I'm on high on pretty much everything. And everything is pretty much turned on, so that gives you an idea of how the game runs. And just for those nerds out there who might be interested, I am running a 5800X processor and an RX 6950 XT graphics card. So yeah, I do have a fairly meaty system, but I think you can turn settings down, and generally it should not be a problem anyway. So there are still a few restrictions. The coniferous, can't say it, forest is the only starting biome, and not sure why you'd want to change that anyway, so we will just continue. You can choose to play as a wolf, a bear, a boar, a cougar. I think the cougar looks a little bit too kitty-catty. Not mean enough, but there we go. You can play as a deer, or an eagle, or a fox, or indeed a moose, a raccoon, or a raven. So lots more being introduced since I last tested it, where you had to start as a wolf. So I'm going to do the same as I did in my little test playthrough and choose the fox. Well, it probably makes a big difference if you choose a bird, but I haven't got that far yet. And this isn't going to be a let's play. I'm just going to call him Reynold, because I can. Yeah, I'm not going to do a sort of a let's play of it, because it's not the kind of game that you would want to continuously watch episode after episode. Maybe you would, I don't know. But essentially, I just wanted to sort of showcase this very beautiful game. So there we are, there's Reynold, and the music has suddenly got very loud. Not quite sure why that is. Obviously the idea is to survive. Let me just see if I can turn that music down a little bit. Settings, audio. Actually, I'll turn the whole volume down a little bit. Hopefully, did I save it? It saves automatically. Okay. Yeah, so what you're going to do is try and roleplay a bit as a fox. So you need to catch your food. There we go. We'll let him go. Apparently he's now got entrails hanging out of him. Yep. So you have to play a little mini game there to... Oh, no. There we go. And you can't identify the rats because they run away from you too fast, but essentially in the world there will be lots of stuff that you need to investigate, such as that. So it's meat and we're a fox, so we can eat it. You can see in the bottom my food is still full because we've just spawned, so what I can do here is just grab it and take it with me. But your movements are somewhat slowed by doing that. So, and there's plenty of food lying around. Just try and identify as much as we can. So you can see it adds it to the atlas, and pretty much everything you come across initially, that's just a lily, you're going to need to investigate. So the purpose of the game is essentially just to not be eaten, not be killed. And you can see the size of the map here. There's quite a lot of it, although it doesn't take terribly long to cover the map. But we do have a snow biome there, there's a sort of a deserty biome. You can tell by the seagulls that surrounding us is the sea, which is salt water, which you can't drink. So let me see. If I click on that one, I can add the spacebar to give me a marker. That gives me somewhere to aim for, which is over there. So we'll go around this big mountain. So the speed that you're trotting will determine the stamina that you're using. And as you can see in the bottom left, stamina is gradually depleting at this speed. You can change the speed using the mouse wheel, but not while you're carrying something. So if you're carrying something, that's the fastest you can run. Right, so that's a bear, and he will attack us. So we definitely don't want to be messing with him. Yeah, if I'm not carrying something, then I can press the spacebar. Sorry, the shift key, and that will allow me to sudden burst of speed. And that was a fish. So this here is a den. You can see there's a bed there. We'll just drop this fella. And there, that's a fire. Just wait for the bar to fill up. And then this is a scent stone. Now, from my experimentation, it wasn't actually clear to me whether it's the sandstone or the fire that determines, whether you've claimed this den or not. So let me just check the map, and apparently we're there, not there. Okay. So I don't think, because that's just my marker, so I haven't claimed this den yet. So, but we did identify the bonfire, so it must be the sandstone, which makes sense. Okay, so now you can see the little house icon has appeared in the compass at the top. And although you still can't see it because I'm actually on it. So what I'll do is I'll go and investigate this marker here. Leave the rat there for a minute. Sure what that noise was. There's some frogs bouncing around there. And again, you'd have to catch one, I think, in order to identify it. Same as the ducks. Okay, so these are scenic points, or lookout points. And you can actually view them by interacting now that you've identified it. And it just gives you a nice sort of cinematic. And it'll give you a flyby. I'm not actually going to... I'll just escape out of that. You get the idea. And there are a number of those dotted around the map. So, what should I be doing now that we've... let's just get some water. Now that we've found a den and got some food, well, we can actually drink. Obviously, the next thing is we want to start a family and make a pack. And to do that, obviously we need to go and find other foxes. I think he's full of water. So the way to find other foxes, obviously, is just to run around and try and find maybe likely areas where foxes would reside. Just before I do that, you can see that's a scenic point now, and it's not actually showing me a den. Let me just... dens. So even though I claimed a den there somewhere, not actually showing me that. Which is interesting. Let me just go back and check on that. Yeah, so can't interact with that. We did scent the stone, so maybe you need to sleep, perhaps? So when you sleep, it asks you if you want to skip time, and you can change the season, you can change the time, and enter. And we can now eat. So you can see my food going up and the food in the rat is going down. So I actually stopped myself from eating there so as not to consume the whole rat. Last time I tried it, when I left and came back, fish. The rat had actually disappeared. So I'm not sure if you can leave food in your den or whether it just automatically vanishes. But here we go. So I have a house icon on my compass. Let me just get some distance. Yeah, so it's still not showing my den on there. Interesting. It's definitely a den, but when I select dens, this little question mark here moves. So that's lookout points, dens. So not 100% sure why it's not showing my den there. Might be me. I might be silly. Anyhow, yeah, lots of stuff to run around and investigate. Lots of biomes you can go to. I did get attacked by a bear when I played my previous playthrough, and I was easily able to run away from it. So that's a cougar, I believe. So we can just sneak away. Don't really want to mess with him. So I'm just going to have a quick run around, see if I can find another fox anywhere. Probably not too many of them in the cougar territories. Those look like wolf cubs to me. Probably a mummy wolf over there. Or maybe another cub, don't know. Looks like maybe another den. Yeah, another den. So the same applies. I'll scent it. So that moves my home now from where it was to here. So we were over there. So you can see I haven't really been running around very much, but we've covered that much distance. So that gives you an idea of the map size. Not huge, but I think large enough to give you wide and varied biomes. And that's a boar. So kind of would like to identify him. And he's asleep by the look of it. Western Moor. So I was actually expecting him to attack me. I'm quite surprised he didn't. This looks like yet another den. No, maybe just caves. Don't see a sandstone here, so I think that's just caves. Kind of ideal if you were a bear, I'm guessing. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a mummy cougar. We will run away. Alrighty, so this is a good example of stuff that you find lying about in the wild. This is obviously just food. And again, I could grab it or I could eat it. You don't really need to eat it, so I'll just leave it there for now. And just check the map again. So we're now over there. So I think our den, initial den at least, was somewhere around that point there. So I'm just going to put a marker there because it's by fresh water. So a lot of this water you can't actually drink. It's salt water. So it's kind of handy to have a den somewhere around some fresh water. And those are the wolves. We'll go this way. So it's a good idea to keep an eye on your stamina, because if you do need to run away from things like cougars, you don't really want to be out of stamina. Right, I'm going to run around for a little bit and try and find another fox. Okay, so we just had a pack event, and if I press N, you can see here is my fox pack, currently leveling up, as you see. I can have another 3 foxes, but the quests here: Homeward Bound, den successfully located and claimed. Well, you saw me do that. So this one, find the cure. Animal has been poisoned. That's because I ate a mushroom. You can find the cure in time. Your animal will still be fine. So I have no idea what cure for poisoning. Again, it's going to be a case of trial and error. I don't know exactly what a fox would eat in order to cure poisoning. Can't eat the tomato, apparently. shake the berry bush. Okay, that's a berry, so if we eat it, does that cure our poisoning? No, it doesn't. Can try eating a lily. And our poisoning went. So let's just check. No, we didn't find a cure for poisoning. And apparently we're not poisoned anymore, so I'm not sure how we're going to do that. So as you can see, it's a game very much where you're going to want to try and identify everything. I don't think there's much chance of identifying a bird somehow. So just a crow. So you can sneak by just pressing control when you're walking, but he goes very, very slowly. I press Q to identify the bird. So you're still sneaking around. Yeah. It's a crow. Or raven. Crow raven. I should actually point out that crows and ravens are two different birds, but we won't complain too much. Berry bush. Anyhow, I'm going to give up on the poisoning. The poisoning has gone. To go back to searching for a buddy. And possibly even a mate, if I can find a mate, but... it's a raccoon baby. Not actually having much luck finding foxes. I would have thought foxes would be up high, maybe in forests. I think they would be down on the beach. What's that? Fox? Looks very fox-like, doesn't it? He doesn't look to be very friendly fox. No, he's not friendly. We'll run away. And he's not chasing us. Okay, so you can see we lost a little bit of health there. But normally when you walk up to them, they don't turn red like that. So I'm guessing he was probably already in a pack, maybe? And was not interested in making friends. But this is a good example of how beautiful the game is. As you can see. Just very, very beautiful. Done really well. Now, we could actually try and get a drink here. There you go. Have to be a little bit careful. I've tried it a couple of times where it should really get up there. It should be water, but it wouldn't actually let me drink even though I was dying of thirst. So there are still a few issues. It definitely wasn't salt water, so yeah, be aware that you know, if you let yourself get too thirsty, you may have issues drinking. But usually, if you just come to a complete stop and then look down at the water, there you go. It does give you the icon. Sure what that is. That's a boar. Still giving me a... Even though I know what it is, it's still giving me an exclamation mark. And we're back to wolves again. So, not much luck finding a mate so far. We're back at Emerald Lake. Ah, there's a fox. Let's go and see if he's friendly. So, wise to approach with caution. So, you can inspect it. Again, not terribly interested in... So usually you'll get, you know, press the interact button. This one, definitely not interested. Okay. So you just got to keep trying. You saw the last one was hostile to us. This one's not hostile, but not being very friendly either. So we'll take our supper. Hear the fish jumping. There's one out of water there, which is kind of handy. Stop that. Just identify it as a carp. And oop. Oh, no, didn't to grab that. So, there we go. Hopefully the fish will stay out of water. It's something to eat for dinner. Okay. That's definitely... Let me just check the sandstone here, make sure this is our den. It is... Oh, no, it's not. Okay, so we claim this den. Now let's see if we can find that fox, maybe because our den was too far away. So if you press Q when you're not inspecting something, you get this sort of animal sense, and you can see there's something there, so we could go and see what that was. Press Q now to identify it. and it usually comes up as sort of animal tracks or something. Actually, there we go. So that's just a twig. I'm not sure why we need a twig. Possibly more important if you're a bird, perhaps. But, I think we need a twig. Looks like those are probably more twigs. Where did our buddy go? No, that's not him. I wanted to come up here just to sign off, but unfortunately the sun has already set. But yeah, just to say, this game has made a lot of progress since I originally reviewed it. It is a very beautiful game, and it's what I call a calm game. So there's nothing horrendous going on. You don't have to shoot people or kill things or anything. It's just sit, relax, chill out, and try it as different animals and see how far you can get. Build your pack up, see if you can control your pack. I was really hoping to find a buddy so that I could show you some of the pack commands, but I'm going to let you find that out for yourself. In the meantime, thank you for checking out my video. I hope that was at least a little bit informative and that you enjoyed the views and the animations and the update. Maybe if it appeals to you, go check it out. It's on Steam right now. So take care of yourselves. Bye bye.